I start coughing, and within minutes, I'm coughing blood. The bed is shaking.
What?
He said that by my kidneys would fail by 13, but at the time they weren't doing surgeries on children. My dad was like, "We're not having a discussion. I am the donor." My lungs just stopped working. So now I wake up to a ventilator, and I'm trying to like figure life out.
So either they save your kidney
Or
or they
like,
save your life.
right, we need the entire game from A to Z. We're now looking to build the largest and most accurate cultural database for the Middle East and Africa market. She challenged me and said, "God forbid you go today. What have you done for yourself? What are you being remembered for?"
But did you know you were winning?
No. I just ran. I knew I'm making podium because I can't see anybody in my tunnel vision. So I was talking so much smack at every interview, on TV, on radio. I'm like, I'm getting the gold. Like, it's done. And I was one of those people that I started working immediately out of school. And I was getting into the Dubai creative scene of that time. You know, Kilma Studios, if you remember those guys, Danesh and the boys. And, you know, that was out there. You know, the music was up because there's so much happening.
Omar T. OT. What do I call you? OT?
OT.
OT. Welcome to the Rice Pudding Project.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for having me.
I've seen you around in the circles.
Yeah.
And from afar, because we have a lot of friends in common, but we've never met.
No.
I'd seen you loads on your show because I was following you on your show, and when you were doing the training in the gym with Reem and Mo.
Yeah.
And then I had no idea what it is exactly you do. So I think it's better that you explain to the viewers at home, and then we can get into it.
All right. So what I actually do is I do many things. I think I like being multidimensional that way. I am a business owner. I own a business called Dukkan Media, which
is where I show it.
Where you know my business partner is Riemann Akawi.
Yep.
We are a market research and culture consultancy firm. Despite also having a media element to it, because it was born out of the work we began with the podcasts.
Okay.
So it was born out of that space.
Yeah.
And coming from strategic planning background myself and consulting, Reem coming from a legal and then a film production background, Akawi coming from brands, we kind of came together really, really well into building this thing. We knew the entire game from A to Z, right? In terms of from a marketing lens, from a research, understanding the market. And Akawi and I both grew up here, and Reem being Iraqi, Filipino, Canadian, who's been here for like 20 some years, we understood the markets culturally in a different way than other people.
Gotcha.
For example, this morning we were talking about the term adab.
Yeah.
Right? In Arabic, which is adab.
A behavior, right?
Right? So this is the interesting thing. Like, how do you explain adab to a non-Arab? And it is because it's multi-layered. It is not just etiquette. It is not just behaving well. It is not just understanding your surroundings. It's actually when, in one of the definitions that we kind of like that we found was, it's when your behavior matches your inner self-identity.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
There is an element of understanding social awareness, because being in the mosque versus a school versus a party versus with the elderly versus with family versus with, your in-laws.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So being able to read the situation, being able to read the surroundings, but also having a cultural awareness of the space. Right? And, it's the etiquette, yes, but then how does that reflect what's inside you and where they intertwine, if you will.
Okay.
So it's quite a deep concept that we found very interesting. We were delving into it, and we're trying to, put it together. But to give you context, like, this is the kind of stuff we dwell into, and then we see how does that translate from a cultural lens, and then bringing that to light. So whether for most of our businesses used to be with blue chip clients and with government clients, so we kind of bring in a depth that we were able to provide through the shows. It gave us a lot of credibility. It gave us we developed a network, and we showed the quality that we bring. And I think that gave us a unique access, being able to translate what's happening in the underbelly to a meeting room with corporates.
Tell me, where did the name Dukkan come about?
So the name was, obviously it started with Dukkan Show, which was the podcast, but the name means a grocery store in Arabic, in Hindi, in Urdu, in Farsi, and I'm missing one.
Turkish.
Turkish.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I
That's
didn't know
right.
it was Farsi,
Yeah.
and I should know that. I was saying it was a bit embarrassing because I have a different terminology
Yeah.
for a shop.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's one of those terms that we used so much, right? At home and society. It's where we also spend most of our time. It's the stoop by the grocery store. It's where I spent my youth and my childhood. It's how I
Corner
knew
shop,
people.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just the little grocery store
Yeah.
in the corner of every neighborhood.
Okay.
It is also the cornerstone of community, we grew up where the shopkeeper by name and they know your family, and there's a community sense that developed around these spaces
Yeah.
that we really liked. So when we started the show with the co-founders that started it with me back in the day, we realized that was a commonality that drew us together, where it was the stoop
Yeah.
outside these spaces.
Yeah.
But it also translates in other forms, where it's, be it the barber shop, the hair salon, the nail salon, where people gather and have in-depth
Safe
conversation.
space.
Amen. Exactly.
Okay.
And that gave birth to the show. That was the idea behind the show. And eventually we're like, you know what? We actually had a completely different company name at the time. And one of my friends was like, you've already established yourself as the Dukkan guys. Everybody knows you as Dukkan. It's hard for people to look at you as two different businesses in that sense at the time.
Yeah.
So you might as well merge them together. So like, cool. You know what? It makes sense. The show lives within the business, and it kind of became this unique blend where we had the podcasts, that was the media side, and then we also were focused on the market research, the cultural strategy work that we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then later on, Reem and I also now built a new business called Rita, which we were trying to answer the question of how do you scale the knowledge that we have, and how do you explain and answer for one of the unique issues that we found. So
Which is
throughout our career,
yeah.
We constantly found roadblocks with research when we're trying to understand the markets or trying to expand on a research project that we have.
Yeah.
And we realized that people like us didn't exist in the studies. We were overlooked from cultural understanding, people who call different places home, but more importantly, most of the studies were done from the outside looking into the Middle East and looking into the Arab world, as opposed to having a dominance in terms of cultural data.
Okay. And does REDA stand for something?
Yes, so it stands for Research and Data Analytics.
Okay.
Just a little acronym, and that's what we started right now to help answer for this, where we're now looking to build the largest and most accurate cultural database for the Middle East and Africa markets.
Okay.
So
and before Dukkan, what got you into, what did you study before to get you to this far?
So I studied integrated marketing communications. It's just marketing and advertising university is just a fancy way of saying that. I went to AUD here for my bachelor's, and I was one of those people that I started working immediately out of school. I took no breaks.
Where was your first job?
My first job was at an ad agency. I interned with Impact Proximity, which was part of the
I know.
video world. Yeah, and then after that, I jumped to BPG. Had this sort of youth management training program where you get to rotate all the departments, and they try to figure out where to fit you in. Like, cool, that sounds like fun. Got enrolled into that and got accepted and went through that process. And I realized I wanted to do more strategy work. I had a wonderful professor in university that told me of this other school, Miami Ad School. She's like, you should go.
Famous. Yeah.
He's like, you're a perfect fit. You should consider it at some point. So it always played in the back of my head. And I wanted to work in a strategy department because she said, I think she had a huge influence on me. And I've noticed that in my work. So I was like, cool, let's do this thing.
You went to, there's one in Miami, one in Berlin, right?
They're in different parts of the world. Yeah. So I was working at BPG, worked my way out of PR and social media into the strategy team for a little bit. Got accepted at Promo 7. So when I made the jump is when I also applied to Miami Ad School.
Okay.
So I got the job, but I was like, hey guys, I might leave in 3 months. I don't know, because they were notorious for difficult acceptance rates. So like, I might not make it, but if I do make it, I might have to leave. 3 months in, I got in. So I went to the San Francisco campus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I did strategic planning, focus on like pop culture engineering and like understanding society and working with some of the most creative people I've ever met in my life, which was a game changer for me. So that experience changed a lot in my worldview and my experiences. So by the time I got back, I got picked up by Leo Burnett as a strategist. Did that for a few years. I launched the Cannes show while I was at Leo Burnett at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on at the same time.
Yeah, it was a side hustle. And the industry back then where you're like at 6 p.m. I would leave to go to the studios and people look at your shoe half day. I mean, which is like the worst toxic joke of the industry.
Yeah, but everyone is
repeats it.
They don't have work, but they'll stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
They'll
who are you trying to
8
prove a
o'clock,
point
9
for?
o'clock.
Like, just
Yeah.
go home.
And then just go to Icon Lounge.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I was like, yeah, I used to just like drive down to the studio at that time. And there was a point where I realized, okay, I needed to leave. Where I was like,
for burnout or just toxicity or just because it was getting
all of the above. I think there was a moment where the show was on an upswing.
Yeah.
Like we were killing it. We were, we were, alhamdulillah, super blessed. Like we had PR coverage. People were starting to understand what podcasts are. It was starting to pick up attention. Because when we started, there were just like 2 other shows, which were Mustadfar in Saudi and Kerning Cultures. And so we were like the 3rd one on the scene at the end of 2015 around that time. So it was just
like 300,000 now.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So you went from 3 to 300,000 in a very short time.
Yeah.
So we were doing really well at the time. Also, I realized that I wanted to do this more full time because I found myself during my lunch breaks, I'll pull up my personal laptop and work on the show.
Yeah.
And as soon as it hits 6, I'll go to the studio. Even if we didn't have episodes, I'll just work. And bless them, Reem and Omar let me come into their office. Like I met Reem at an event.
Yeah.
And within a month, she opened her doors to me and she let me use her space. So I would just come and work from there. And it got to a point where they gave me the keys to the office. They're like, yo, we're leaving. You could do your thing.
Nice.
So we had a wonderful bond that started at the time. And Reem became a co-host on the show. And, that was our space for the longest time. 2018, we left. We actually partnered with OSN for a brief period. They had studio spaces that they were operating to welcome creatives.
It was on the channels?
It was in the building. No, it was at the time it was what was it called? OSN, Asli OSN. I think they were trying to do original content. They were trying to support local content creators, and they developed these. They used old sound studio spaces in the building, and turned them into like co-working spaces and office spaces for creatives. And they're really trying to lead this thing. There was a huge investment that was made at the time. We happened to be one of the early people there, so that sort of became our makeshift office. And Akawi starts hanging out, and we had him on this show, and then we could not. Akawi is just this guy that.
Did he bring many issues there? Or?
No, we learned that later.
He brought some for me. Yeah, just gonna say he should.
Wow.
He brought like 4 or 5.
I mean, I don't know if we could talk about our sponsors. I mean, no, I'm kidding. He at the time he was working at Red Bull, so he had
your Red Bull.
Yeah, so he had this backpack that had a mini fridge in it. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like a work backpack. It has his laptops and everything in it.
There's a fridge.
And it had like a mini fridge at the bottom. So he used to bring his cans with him. So Akawi never comes empty-handed at the weddings. Yeah. And we're like, yo, we gotta keep you around. You gotta stay with us. Then he becomes a co-host on a show. Yeah. And from there we decide to build Dukkan Media together. We had a different name for it at the time, which was Cause Culture, and the idea was that, we did what we caused cultural change. We noticed that shift, and we had that impact that we were proud of. But more importantly, it was about as a collective, as a greater we saw the early creatives. We witnessed the early movements between Saudi and the UAE. You're talking about your 07 YouTube in Saudi and how that came about, but also at the time. The Shabmohas and the young creatives that were starting to come into the scene, and we're seeing this movement and the shift that was happening. And it was great because we were in the midst of all this, and we were able to not only document it on the show, but translate that to business. So we kind of found our space in this culture. Hence the name. That was like why we called it Cause Culture. But then I realized it was very difficult to say on the phone when you're trying to introduce your company to anybody.
Maybe like cause or cause.
Yeah, and it was challenging. That's why we ended up changing the name basically.
Okay.
But that became our business, and alhamdulillah, we've been doing it ever since.
Nice. So I finally saw you, or said it finally was in the same room as you. I want to say March, April, May.
No. The dinner?
Yeah, the dinner.
No, the dinner was in July.
Was it in July?
Yeah.
I thought you guys were racing in July.
August.
You raced in August?
Yeah.
That was so close.
Yeah.
Okay, so the dinner at July, and I had no idea I mean, obviously, I have a friend, Husseina, who I knew her story. I had no idea about your story. And so
Yeah.
when you went out to talk, I honestly thought you were from Dukkan
Yeah.
and you're like hosting it and you're emceeing with them. And when you started to talk about your, I don't know what do you call it, your treatment?
My transplant.
Your transplant. Okay. Yeah. So I was just in awe and I was shocked because it wasn't just one. It was
two.
But
I had
why?
Two. I had a failure. Yeah, sure. So it's funny because when we're sitting outside talking about like backgrounds and stuff. So yeah, like went to Shrifat like a lot of your friends.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it plays such a backdrop, I think, to a lot of the storyline as well. So early on, I was 2 years old. My mother.
2 years old.
Yeah. My mom's a pharmacist.
Yeah.
So early on, she noticed something was off. I think just her medical background, but also just a mother's intuition, if you will. So she's like, something's wrong. She wanted to do some tests because I think I was still urinating the bed and things. I think by 2 you should be changing or at least learning how to
have a stronger control
of your bladder, right? So it's just this concern, right?
Yeah.
So there were the questions of, okay, is it mental? Is it psychological? Is it emotional? Is it physical? Is like what's wrong with them, right? And she was asking the right questions. So my uncle was a pediatrician. He was part of the leadership team that set the pediatrics hospital in Fujairah, the pediatrics in Fujairah Hospital.
Okay.
He's been here for eons.
Okay.
So he ran some tests and he was like, cool. He's like, look, it seems like it's his kidneys. I want to recommend somebody you should go see in the UK. And now we go to the UK and
2 years old.
By then I was probably like 3 or 4. This was
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, so we go down, get some tests done, and it's like, and I remember this gentleman, Dr. Parrott, is like this old school English gentleman, kind of doctor. His name was Dr. Parrott. Like, you know that mahogany brown office, like that early 90s, late 80s type vibe, right? But his studies showed him that he said I had something called a kidney dysplasia, and there were possibly a kidney reflux. There's possibly issues with the bladder. He said that my kidneys would fail by 13, but at the time they weren't doing surgeries on children. So it's like he'll go on dialysis till he's 18, and then he'll go on surgery. So that could cause malnutrition, kidney development issues, so on and so forth.
And the dialysis that you have to be on that, you have to once a day to.
So that was his prognosis at the time, right?
Yeah.
Thankfully, my parents didn't take it.
Yeah.
They're like, nope. They're like, we're not gonna have this, right? So, bless them. I have seen many doctors around the world, and
you went to some more doctors.
Yeah, we went to see others for second, third, fourth, fifth, and 10th opinions. Like I've seen therapists, I've seen nephrologists, pediatricians, pediatric nephrologists.
I have no idea what something is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
Yeah,
some of them I know.
So excuse
I know
me.
a doctor.
So a nephrologist is a doctor specifies in like in kidneys and your bladder and your urinary tract as a whole, right?
Okay.
So that's a nephrologist, and then a pediatrician is a children's doctor.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So
that was
we were in that world.
That one at least.
Okay, cool. So eventually, we settled with this wonderful doctor here in Dubai, Dr. Adil Abeid. He became my specialist.
Okay.
That I would see, and my parents have done a great job in maintenance. And as I was saying, this is happening with the backdrop of school. So now you're becoming a teenager and going through angst of youth and adolescence and all the problems that brings as well.
Yeah.
And the school I went to was thankfully one of the most diverse schools, but I think also just kids being kids, a lot of fights and a lot of bullying and a lot of just racial confrontation, but just kids being kids. I understand that.
But it was common. Everyone knew that you had a kidney.
No. So it was one of those things that I kept to myself. My fights were, Yal Zol, Yal Aswad, Yal Abd, and then I'm like, and then I'd be like, your mom, and then we get into a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was that kid.
Yeah.
So it wasn't about my health, but because of that, this was a secret I have kept, right? It became this thing where people didn't know. So as a kid, it wasn't something I spoke about. It wasn't something that I told people about. Then I got older. I wanted to study abroad. My parents did not want me to, so I stuck around. I went to AUD here.
Yeah.
But
all this time you didn't have to dialysis or anything?
No, thankfully. So
how were you maintaining or
honestly, I mean, alhamdulillah, first of all, like, credit to God and then credit to my parents for their effort, because I think they figured out a way to maintain things.
Okay.
We managed to not need anything for up until I was 21. and Dr. Adil, who eventually by then was like, all right, bro, time's up. Your kidneys are like, we're done.
Medication.
I was on, like supplements, mostly vitamin D, other medication here and there. But there were challenges throughout life where, like, first time I was learning to fast, like every, 13-year-old boy. I fast Ramadan over a weekend. I get a kidney inflammation. I'm in the hospital for weeks, right? So there were various health challenges that were happening in the backdrop of all this. I got a note from my doctors to excuse me out of class, and then, being a troubled teen, I would use that to skip school. You know what I mean? So we were.
I'm just curious. What is, when you say kidney inflammation? How would that affect? Like,
It
how does that
it
feel?
translates into a fever. I remember it translated into like not being able to urinate, like feeling just incredibly sick and being rushed to the emergency room.
So weak, you can't move.
No, terrible. And then instantly you're on IV fluid, you're on
Collapsing,
medication.
things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So as a kid, I've had these. It happened multiple times. It wasn't just a one.
This is from, but these things happens from the age of like 4 or.
No, I mean, so at various times there were different things that happened. So at 13, 14, when I was learning to fast, this happened. But there were other times when, like everybody else, I would just get sick, and then it would have a graver impact because I might dehydrate. It might have impact on my kidneys. So there were always graver concerns as a result of your average flu.
Because that's what I was going to say. Being in the heat here, you got to be very careful, right? You got to be very hydrated.
Correct. And there were limitations on certain foods. So my dad always likes to blame the fact that I was living on campus on the degradation of my health, because he's like, while you were at home, your mom made great food,
I mean, the grandma's just like having junk pot noodles.
Exactly. And you go from that to like, eating on a budget. So understandably, it does have an impact on your health, right?
So at 21, the doctor said.
Yeah. So at 21, Dr. Adil was like, all right, so great news. Sheikh Khalifa Medical City in Abu Dhabi has a transplant program. I would like to enroll you in it because your kidney is on its last leg. Like, it's either that or dialysis. And they might actually start you on dialysis depending on the time frame.
Both of them were in.
So yeah, both of them. So to explain what actually happened to my kidneys, a kidney dysplasia is just that the kidney did not develop well in the womb. So it's just the card I was dealt in life by God, right? Okay. But that later on in life resulted in something called the reflux, which is that when you urinate, the connection from kidney to the bladder doesn't close well, so the urine shoots back and causes scarring in the kidney. Yeah. So there was damage throughout life that was also occurring over time, right? As a result, that eventually stopped, but the damage already happened, is what I was saying. So it just got weaker over time. So we come to 2010. He puts me in the program. I was one of the first patients at that hospital. I was patient number 5 or 6. Brand new transplant program, and we were trying to figure out the donors. And my dad was like, "We're not having a discussion. I am the donor." And it was just like non-negotiable for him, because we had to sit with a therapist at some point, and to make sure that the donor is not gonna, like, some of the questions they asked him, like they asked my dad, were like, if tomorrow, God forbid, you donated and something goes wrong with this kidney, with you, and you need a transplant. With one. Exactly. How are you gonna feel? Right? So these like real life questions that you're gonna have to face as a donor.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, we're good. Let's just go. And he said that he's like, and I think like many men of his generation, like, I was just a financial provider. So it's like, I haven't been very active as a father. He's like, I want to be able to do more. So it was like put his foot down. It wasn't a negotiation point. So
your dad has one kidney.
So my dad has one kidney, but mashallah, bless him, he's much healthier now than before, because he needed to lose weight to donate. So really? Yeah, so now he started his, like, he has a morning routine. He has a walk. He has his program. Like, he's in a much healthier space.
You should use that. Say, I got you healthier.
I should. Like,
if I give you a kidney, but I made you healthier.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So bless him. And then
you were 21 when that happened.
That was 21. Yeah.
Okay, but the recovery from that's got to be intense, because
so
they take out both your kidneys.
No, so they don't take the old kidneys. So your kidneys, because they're like right here behind your ribs.
Yeah.
They don't take them out because it's a second surgery. Then you got to account for more work, because unless it is going to cause damage to the new kidney.
Yeah.
If it's bleeding, if you're into boxing, like, kidney shots are dangerous, exactly. Bro, because if that shit ruptures, It's
takes
very
you down.
yeah.
Yeah.
They have to remove it.
Yeah.
So unless there's something like that, there's no need to. Otherwise, it's 2 surgeries.
Why 2 surgeries? Isn't it just like take one in, put one, take
No,
one out?
because
Or...
the new one goes next to your bladder in your lower abdomen.
Oh, okay.
There, so they sit right here.
So you can't take any punches to the stomach.
Yeah, I cannot get into any physical sports anymore. Like I mean, fights, martial arts. I can't. Boxing, you keep it in the gym. You cannot get in a ring. Yeah.
So one of them is here.
Both of them. So I had 2.
Wait,
So,
hold on. Your dad gave you 1.
so my dad gave me 1.
Yeah.
That was my first transplant.
Okay.
And about 6 weeks in or so, I had a rejection episode. So the reason of the rejection was the medication I was given is just, again, they did not think my immune system is going to be like that. And my immune system was ready to go. As soon as it found an opportunity, I had a rejection episode. And they always told us.
So when you say your immune system was rejecting the medicine or the kidney?
So when you get an organ, your body is going to identify it as a foreign object and it's going to attack it. That's the job of your immune system.
Yeah.
Post-transplant, you're immunosuppressed. So you're on medication that reduces your immune system.
Yeah.
After surgery, you're on an obscene amount of medication.
To build your immune system back?
No,
to
keep it suppressed. So when you go through the surgery, they give you an immune system through IV, right? So immediately goes into your bloodstream. It almost shuts down your immune system completely, right to 0. They go through the surgery. They put in the kidney. The kidney is working. It's pumping blood. It's operating. Wonderful. Stitch him up, right? And as soon as you're out of surgery and you're out of the ICU, they come in with this huge bag of medication and they're like, great, so this is cortisone, this is pantoprazole, this is tacrolimus, this is that. You got to learn your medication, you got to know what to take at what time. Here's a schedule, this is the structure, this is the number of pills you got to take. So there's an immediate boot camp and you got to memorize this real quick. So they had a wonderful transplant coordinator team there. So those are the transplant coordinators, as they say, they're like, we're your second mom. So if you go through a transplant, they're your point of contact between you and the hospital 24/7, right? So they're the ones that teach you, like, okay, these are your medication. Here's how it goes. And you're on this like ridiculous amount of medication.
And this medication you're on for how long after the operation?
Oh, for life.
Every day?
Twice a day. So back then it was 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Different medication at different times, and then over time it reduces. So it kind of, if you start up with this giant stack of medication, it kind of gradually reduces over time. What was happening then as well is that I had to stay in Abu Dhabi because I was seeing the doctor 3 times a week. I go in 3 times a week to do my lab tests, see the results, see the doctor, any adjustments to the medication, any changes. So that's the first week. That's the first month, and then the second month it's twice a week. Third month it's once a week, and then it ends up being monthly, then 3 times, then every quarter. So it's a gradual reduction of visits to the hospital. Imagine now that mimics the load of medication you're on. There's this gradual reduction as well. Assuming everything is fine. So having a rejection episode, now that's a complication.
So when this happens, it's like red alert, right?
Yeah.
But sorry to be so blunt, but at this, when it rejects your kidney, is this a point where you can die? Because I mean, the other 2 that weren't.
So here's what happens. What I appreciate about the transplant coordinators there was that there were protocols for everything and I'm glad, like, I'm very grateful for just critical thinking and being able to grasp loads of information all at once, because it was a lot, truly. But one of the things that always stuck out, and they repeated that, was that if you get a fever at any time, you rush to the hospital emergency, because that is either an infection or a rejection. Either way, worst case scenario, rush to the hospital, non-negotiable. So it's kind of like you always had a ready to go bag in case anything happens. And that did happen eventually. So now we rush to the hospital. And they're like, yep, it's a rejection. And now we're going to begin treatment. So it's a treatment protocol for rejection. Various medications. Now I start doing dialysis, which is post-transplant dialysis.
Sorry again, but when it's a rejection, can they save that kidney?
That's the attempt. Correct. That's exactly the idea.
Right, just saying.
So because what happened was the IV immunosuppressant that they gave me at surgery, it doesn't just leave your system immediately. It takes weeks. So as it leaves your system, it's gotten replaced by the pills,
Yeah.
right? But the pills are not at the same magnitude.
Yeah.
So as that's leaving your system, it's replaced by pills. Ideally, they're supposed to hold. But sometimes your immune system is stronger than whatever pills you're on. And that was the case with me. My immune system fought back regardless of what the pills, regardless of how much medication I was on.
Okay.
And that was why I got a rejection and I was rushed to the hospital. So we begin the rejection treatment. There was dialysis now, which was introduced. I didn't do
before.
I didn't do it before. I
Okay.
did post transplant dialysis. There was plasma dialysis, which is out. They take the blood, and then they take the plasma out the blood, and it's like this golden liquid.
And they shake it.
Yeah, it has this weird golden liquid,
Yeah.
and then they replace it. So at
Okay.
first they replaced it with biological plasma.
Yeah.
I showed allergic reaction to it, so then they switched it to synthetic. So I kind of go through that, and all these medications, and now it's just a constant state of fatigue because you're just in this process of medication and dialysis, and it's just nonstop.
Dialysis, is it painful or is it?
It's not painful. It's fatiguing, severe. So you do a 3-hour session.
3 hours. You're connected to the machine. And
Correct. And in my case, being an in-hospital dialysis is a whole different experience as well. Because generally, I've met some great people that have done dialysis. They would go to a dialysis center. They will sit. They'll get strapped up, and you have something called a fistula that gets inserted into your stream.
Yeah.
So you would notice a lot of transplant patients would have scars, stitches here. A fistula is sort of like a pipe that gets connected under the skin.
Yeah.
And that gets connected to a dialysis machine. So it's either here or you'd have it on your main line, which is where I had it. That connects to your main vein on your neck.
Inside the.
Yeah, and it comes out as like 2 IVs, so it's quite a thick tube, right? And you need it needs a lot of space.
And I'm thinking,
yeah,
like when you hear that, like I get tingles in the back of my eye. I can't.
Yeah, so one of them takes blood out. It goes through the machine. It gets cleaned up, and the second one brings blood in. Right, that's the objective. The challenge is you get very cold inside out during dialysis. Yeah, because there's less blood, so you're freezing cold all the time. And you can put 20 blankets and you'll still feel cold, right?
For 3 hours, you're just freezing.
Yeah, so it's an annoying experience. And then depending on different people have different side effects. So people lose weight in the session. So we always get weighed before and after to see what's the weight difference. Because dialysis is basically cleaning out chemicals out of your system, potassium, calcium, creatinine, whatever, right? It's doing what the kidney's function is, which is to clean your system. It's a filter. So as a result, based on what you eat, you might actually lose a lot of weight. So they tell you can't eat bananas and you can't eat dates because they're high in potassium, for example, right? Yeah. So yeah, very strict diets as well that kind of go with that. So different people, different side effects. I get migraines, like severe migraines as a result. So I was always like in a wheelchair in the dialysis sessions.
And this went for how long?
3 hours, 3 times or 4 times a week.
Okay.
While I was also getting treated. And then you're in a bubble this whole time. You're allowed 1 gas, if at all, at any time, and they have to stay with you because now your immune system is back to 0. We're trying to save the kidney that is being rejected
by your immune system.
So we're trying to control the immune system, right? So, and you're doing all this, but while you're trying to maintain the kidney, the dialysis is to like help support it. So it's just like, yeah, it's just a support system to try and get this thing to work again. So while we're doing all that, a nurse comes in to check my vitals as they do a few times a day, and didn't do the protocol of masking, gloves, PEP uniform, the steps, and it's fine generally, like it's whatever. But unfortunately for me, that is a problem. I caught whatever they brought with them. I start coughing, and within minutes, I'm coughing blood. The bed is shaking. And I'm like, pressing that nurse's button, and it's like 9:10 p.m. And I'm like. And that's all and then that's it. I black out. And then I just wake up in the ICU a few days later.
Coma?
Yeah, I was out. So what happened was my lungs just stopped working. So now I wake up to a ventilator and I'm trying to like figure life out. And they hold me down and they're like, yo, so take it easy. You cannot take it off. You take it off, you're done for. Your lungs don't work. They stopped, unfortunately. So we decided to stop your kidney medication to give your immune system a chance to fight whatever's in your lung, and supported by medication so that, we could save your life. The kidney is going to get beat up. So we had to choose kidney versus lung, life, kidney, right? So I'm like, great, thanks.
I'm sorry. you're like it's like you're like
you know,
long life kidney. It was so either they save your kidney or
or
they
like,
save your life.
yeah. So I went with life, and I'm like, cool, doc, thanks. And I just had this mask on. I can't speak, and
So
it just
like
it just pumps air in and out of my lungs. That's what it was doing. So I was in the ICU for quite a while on that. And
21 years old.
yeah,
What do you thinking at this moment? You're not like, because you're a very upbeat kind of guy.
yeah.
I would not want to. I would be like down in the dumps and like.
Oh, I definitely was. I definitely was. I think at the time it's just a matter of survival and this question of, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? And you're doing daily tests and they're looking at the functions of the kidney. And now the lungs don't work.
Didn't you just think, what next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a constant state of
What else are you going to do?
what else is going to happen? Am I going to get out of here? And then it's hard because then through the window, you're seeing my mom in disarray as well, right? So like there's also that happening because I'm in, you can't come in.
She can't come in. She
Right?
can't help her child.
So this is all happening in the backdrop. And at the time, my mom gave birth to my youngest brother. We're 21 years apart between my brother and I. So he was born while I was in the hospital. My mom had to get rushed to the other side to give birth at the same time. Right?
21 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can imagine, my mom was pregnant at the time.
Okay.
So,
It's also not good for her and for the baby.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's happening as well. And then, alhamdulillah, eventually this thing works. And you'd come in like, hey, how you feeling? I'd be like, I'm good. And like, that's as much
So lungs are good now.
They were slowly getting better. And
Yeah,
this gentleman
but
would
kidney
come
is
in.
gone.
Kidneys, once they got the lungs, they're like, cool, clearly that's good. Let's try and save the kidney now. Let's go back to mission
okay,
one.
back to, okay.
Yeah,
All right,
because now we had to go on a side quest, which is
Yeah.
let's save life first.
Yeah.
That worked.
Now let's
Lungs
try-
started to work. I go through like a breathing therapy sessions and
Yeah.
everything.
Breathing therapy session.
Yeah, like this coach would come in and like I think people do it to go into ice baths now.
Wim Hof.
Yeah. At the time it's just like, let's just get this to work,
Have you
right?
ever done ice bath?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Even after
but
that?
Akawi was my guy, by the way.
Really?
Akawi was my breathing coach when I did
I
ice
would
bath,
think
and
it'd
it
be
was
like, come on, man, that's brilliant. And I would not want.
I tried not to laugh so
Yeah,
hard
exactly.
when Akawi was doing
I
it.
could
It
just
was
imagine.
crazy.
Like, come on.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like he's like, shoo, Yanni, just breathe in. Like
Exactly, and it's
Yeah.
animated, and it makes it
It's
harder.
not cold. Like you're outside. You don't know.
Exactly.
Shit.
So yeah, so that worked, and then thankfully, and started to like get back into
Oh,
pace.
awesome.
So the kidney
So the
worked.
kidney was working.
So then they're like, cool, let's save the kidney. We start working on the kidney. The kidney works. So guess what? It got beat up. We don't know how many years it has. Maybe 2. Let's see. But congratulations,
So
the
your dad
kidney
went
is
through all
working.
of that, and they're telling him that the kidney's only going to be good for 2 years.
Yeah. So
Damn.
now you go back to school, try to make normal out of life. And it's different because now I'm like this. I've gained so much weight. All this, I look like a whole different.
Oh,
person.
you didn't lose weight during this. You put on weight.
No, I gained weight. I gained a lot of weight. Like I looked like a whole other person at the time.
How much did you gain?
I was like 25, 26K.
And
Partially is the water weight because of the medication, but also I suddenly had this newfound appetite. I could not stop eating.
That's good. That's healthy.
Yeah, I know. So
Yeah, that's
everybody else was happy,
Yeah.
right? And I think as a college kid, vanity plays a part, especially when people take a double take. They're like,
Hey, what
"Oh,
happened to
Sam,
you?
that's you." Yeah, and I wasn't gone for too long, so we're like with short circuit when they see me.
And you're still not telling people about your kidney.
No. By then, people knew I was I started to be a bit more open. It was just I think high school was a very specific time.
Yeah.
Yeah. In university, I was a lot more open about it. And then during that time, I had this wonderful professor who I just wouldn't go to her class.
Yeah.
And eventually she said, "Hey, you're gonna fail, my guy. Like you got to."
Wonderful professor that you wouldn't go to her class.
Because I didn't go to any class at the time. I
Okay.
think depression hit
Okay.
in a way
All right.
where
Understandable.
yeah. And today I understand that.
Yeah.
Back then, I would go to university, but I wouldn't go to any class.
So
I will hang out. I play cards. I hang out with the boys. Go to the dorms and watch a movie and nap for a few hours. Like I was a bum on campus.
I'm just curious. I'm curious why you would be that way if you went through life-threatening.
So
Wouldn't
this
you
lady,
want to
exactly.
embrace?
So this lady calls me to her office.
Yeah.
You're failing my class. Just withdraw. Might as well. And I was like, but why? Wait. And I was like, it's just the marketing class. You're like, listen, I'm a tough professor. open-ended question exams, you're not gonna make it. I almost went like, I went to Shafat, but please. I was like, I don't think you've unless you've
They
gone
test a
through
lot.
the night before. We've gone through this. I need to study the night before. I've done this a million times, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. You know what? I'm not gonna withdraw. I'm gonna take the exam. And she's like, you're sure? I'm like, I bet. I passed the exam, and to prove a point, I did not attend any class till the end of the semester. And I took the final, and I passed the final. And then
I love that you doubled down.
yeah, yeah,
And you
yeah,
doubled
yeah.
down not to work harder, but just not to go
Just
to
to
the
prove a
class.
point. Just to
Okay.
prove a point.
Yeah.
So the following semester, I took 3 classes with the same professor
To prove a point?
because I'm that guy now. I was like, oh, it's either you or I. Like one of us is gonna
Tell me you
crash,
started going to her class.
right? So I got an email before the class started. She's like, come to my office. You know, I show up. She's like, I went from not knowing who this person in my class is to now you have 3 classes with me. Like, bro, what's your beef? Clearly, you're not an idiot. And I gave her the whole story, like, you know. But that was the first time I've also voiced I have become very aware of my own mortality. And it was just in the same way I was previously of like I used to be very athletic in school, push my body to the limit, played basketball with the Sawayas, like they were the elites that everybody wanted to be like, you know?
Very competitive.
Yeah.
This is super competitive.
So I grew up
very good
in that environment in school, you know? So you wanted to be like those guys. So we'd play ball, I played football, my brother and I would compete playing different sports. So we kind of
the 21 that's 21 years younger?
No, Mubarak and I are yes, great. So to give you context, I'm the eldest of 4 boys.
Okay.
As well. So Mubarak and I are like right behind each other.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So Mubarak and I in school were super competitive guys. Like we played
He's younger by a year.
By 18 months or so.
Okay. All right.
So we, close enough, and the guy you always fought with kind of sibling.
Yeah.
And then there's Abudi, we're 9 years apart.
Okay.
And then the little one
21.
who's 21 years apart. Yeah.
All right.
So 2 mistakes. 2 intentional, 2 mistakes.
That's how you tell.
That's how I tell it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. So when I said that to her, she challenged me and said, God forbid you go today. What have you done for yourself? What are you being remembered for? And at 21, I was a headless chicken as a guy. Like I did everything you want a teenager would do. I'm doing everything a 21-year-old did. Like just the partying and all the nonsense that came with it. And I think I had no answer to this question.
Yeah.
So she was like, take time and think about that. Like she's like, don't worry about the 3 classes. Like think about this.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, cool. And
did you?
I did. It was one of those moments. Like I credit that semester was a true rebirth because this was the first moment, which was Dr. Sarah Kama. And then there was Dr. Ahmad al-Maghribi who taught, it was like a business class in the evenings. And it was one of those like classes that had mostly Emiratis that would work by day and would come to university to study at night. And great guy. One of those who had like a little stress ball that he'd throw at people, the fun professor that was like all hype and super energetic.
Yeah.
And you can tell this man loves what he does.
Yeah.
Right. And, he'd do classes outside of the classroom in the yard and one day he came in super hyped and he asked like, so who here knows what a purpose is? And we had a few guesses and nobody's ever heard that. I'm telling you, nobody in that class has heard that before. I'm like, oh, that's a cool question. What is that? And guesses. Some guy goes like, oh, Sud, it's when you leave your fingerprint in the world behind. And I'm like, oh, I remember Dr. Sarah's class, so I wrote that down. I'm like, that is smart. And I'm like, great, maybe that's what I need to answer. What is this fingerprint? Because he also asked, great, so what is your fingerprint? And what is your, right? So those 2 moments were great. That same night, it starts to rain. And we get the boys are in class. We're just having a good time. They're like, oh, who's going to go, drift to this car in the rain? Haha, right? And an hour later, you get a BBM. Unfortunately, this guy actually passed away. His car crashed, right?
Kidding.
Yeah. So, like, those moments happening back to back had a stark impact. I credit them a lot because it began this questioning.
Don't you think it's weird that you went through life-threatening situations where literally they're like kidney or lungs, but you didn't think about it, but it took this and those 2 incidents to wake you up?
Completely. It had to happen back to back because I think her challenging me or me taking it as a challenge,
Mm.
going on Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
was the first was the first time I kind of in some way stepped out of myself, and I was like, oh, it's not about me anymore. It's about me proving this point, right? It became about this challenge.
Yeah.
And that, with the experiences around me, I think it triggered something in me where it became like, oh, it's not just about me anymore. There's something greater. And it began this clock of, oh shit, I have no time. Because if I am hyper aware of my mortality truly,
Yeah.
and I could go at any moment, that means I got no time to go. So it began this race where I was like, bet, I need to do as much as I can in very little time. So that was
the drive.
that was the flip of this. That was it. That was the switch. But also me being me, I wanted to do things my way. So that was the time I started with radio and got into this world.
Yeah.
So that all happened after surgery.
Okay.
I
You're around 22 now?
Yeah, 22, 23.
Yeah.
I started a group on campus called The Agency, which we operated like an ad agency.
Yeah.
I negotiated deals with the other clubs, like the student government. I negotiated deal with like the deans, and I would go to other photography club. Hey, you're gonna like cover our events. Cool, guys, let's work on this thing. And we would do things like brand deals or whatever. Like it was just random agreements with all these other students.
Yeah.
And we actually got clients, like actual,
Nice.
clients. We got attention of the school. I was at the Gulf News wrote about us. We were a hit. Now I got this. I'm on fire. Like I was on it, right? I'm doing this, classes, schoolwork, and the fingerprint question. I'm like, oh, I need to go out with a bang. So what are the things that I like? I was working at radio. I started developing these contacts. I like the music and I like art and creative. And I was getting into the Dubai creative scene of that time. Kilma Studios, if you remember those guys, Danesh and the boys. And, that was out there. The music was up and coming. There's so much happening. And it was like the kickoff, right? So I was like, cool. I made an event called I Heart the Art. I partnered with different departments. So I got the design guys to design it. We got the photographers. We got this, we got that. And we didn't have money. We had the school gave us like 2,500 dirhams. So at the time, we were also wanting to send students to the Leo Academy. The university sends students every year. I get rejected because I'm not a 4.0 GPA or like a 3 point something student. And I had 3 professors advocate for me, and they're like, nope, he can't go.
Had to be 4.0.
Yeah, I was a 3.5 something. So I'm like, cool. I used the budget to sponsor 4 students to the Dubai Links.
Okay.
Right? And as students, like you get the tickets stupid cheap.
Yeah.
So great. We go to Dubai Links, and I had a presentation with me. And at the time, I was just walking around talking to people, and I negotiated a deal with Hyundai. I negotiated a deal with ITP to do a coverage. Ahlan did a story on us. And I had all these like artists and DJs that I knew from my time on a presentation.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're going to perform. And it was this good event called I Heart the Art. That was just, I got rappers and singers and the DJs from radio. Steffi and Bo were doing graffiti at the time. So they were doing a live wall graffiti. I got organized a fashion show because one of my friends was doing these like little Shambhala bracelets and it was becoming a thing. And great, I somehow got different judges for the fashion show, and we negotiated with different brands to come on board. And it was one of those things where I was talking about it at the university recently, and I was like, the gentleman from Hyundai was sitting next to me at Dubai Links, and I showed him the thing. Like, I'm doing this thing. It gives you access to like 3,000 plus students with money.
And he was,
and he's like, bet, can I get the cars on campus? I was like, yes, you can. He's like, great, we'll sponsor it. And now I go to school. I'm like, oh, by the way, how do we get the cars in the night before? And they're like, you can't. Like, what do you mean you can't? They're like, you didn't get permission. So now I'm negotiating with the school. Like, look, we got like 97,000 dirhams. Like, we got to let this guy in.
hey, we need to do this.
Those cars are coming in, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used the money already, kind of thing. So we ended up doing this great event. It was a lot of fun. I'm like, you know what? That was my flex. I'm done. I graduated. I'm out. I started working immediately, as I was telling you at the beginning. Yeah. And that began my professional career. 2016, my kidneys started to give up.
Okay.
And now you also understand why I just began working. I was 28, 27, 28. Oh, 28.
So it lasted a while
6
after
years.
they said, because they said 2 years.
Yeah, it made 6 years.
Okay.
So by then I was already back. I was with Leo Burnett.
Do you have to be on the list again?
So if you don't have donors, yes, right? But my brother says, I got this.
You're kidding.
Yeah. So Mubarak,
Not the 21-year-old, the one that's
yeah.
18 months. Yeah. It's a bit
Mubarak
young.
goes like, I got this. This is on me. And he's like, cool, let's get tested. And at the time, he didn't tell my parents. So he went and got tested on his own in secret and figured out we had no matching. We were matching. We didn't have antibodies. We were good. They're like, great. Let's go.
Because it's not just blood work. There's a bunch of things.
There's a bunch of tests.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not only like blood matching, but then you also have antibodies, especially in my case, because I've already been through a transplant.
Yeah.
And my body now has gone through years of medication.
So now you got the kidneys here. You got
We
the
got
one
kidneys
kidney.
here. I got the one here. Now I got here. So this is a 6 kidney conversation, my friend.
6 kidney?
I got 4. You got 2.
Oh. Okay, but okay. So then they didn't remove this because this will be a second operation.
So yeah,
I don't get it because it's failing, but
Yeah.
it's still working. Is it still?
I got 3 failed kidneys and 1 that's working.
So this one's working overtime with the other 3 just chilling.
Yeah, but this is the beauty of subhanallah of the human body, bro.
Yeah.
Like it works. Like 1 kidney, you can have a very healthy life with 1 kidney.
Okay, and there's no way that the other kidneys can start to.
No,
They're done.
no, they're done. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe someday stem cell research. If anybody's working on something, let me know.
So your brother gives you his kidney.
Yeah. My brother
has 1 kidney.
Yeah. So work is living life with 1.
Love.
Right. Very lucky, and it was so the way he said it was so matter of fact. Like it's happening. We're moving on. Right. Which I always appreciated of him. So 2016, I had my surgery, but by now I started the Dukkan show. I was already working. I had a lot going on for me. And I told Reem, I'm like, so I'm going to go get a surgery. I know I owe you a strategy document. I'll give it to you once I wake up. Right. By then, like the Dukkan show, we were on an upswing, right? We've been doing it for 5-6 months by then, or 7 months.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember I created these like video recordings of my computer teaching the guys how to upload episodes. I'm like, this is how you do it. And I recorded 5-6 episodes before I went into surgery. Like everything was like planned out, you know? And this time, because I've done the run before, I know what to do. So I had a whole schedule of what I'm doing like every hour of the day.
Yeah.
Like I was ready, right?
Okay.
I had my books, I had my PlayStation, I had
You're
work.
back in Abu Dhabi again, right?
You know, and I was back in Abu Dhabi. So we do the surgery, have to let things go well. And now we're back into the same process of like, cool, you're living next to the hospital and doing the appointments.
Yeah.
But now I had things going on with my day. Like I wrote a strategy deck for Reem. At the time, DJ Mo City and his music collective were doing these mixes called the Come Down Mix. And he's like, Dukkan show, would you guys like to do it? We're like, yeah, let's do it. So each one of us did a mix. So I did this mix while I'm in this room. On a DJ music mix.
In the hospital.
Yeah. I made a music mix. I uploaded episodes. I woke up out of surgery going like, I need my laptop. And I was not allowed to have my laptop in the ICU because of the heart monitors. I was ready to go. Like I woke up out of surgery, ready to run.
How long in ICU this time?
ICU is 2 days generally. Yeah. So usually 2 days in the ICU and about 3 to 5 days in the ward. Make sure you're okay. And then they let you leave after 5 days.
This has been, you're 35?
36 now.
36. So you've had this 8 years.
Yeah. 2016. Yeah.
Do you have
So
the date and everything?
Yeah, May 24, 2016. Yeah. So May next year makes it 10.
Okay. Does your brother like use it, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Text you and say,
he wants 25% of the medal right now.
It's the medal.
My medal, yeah.
Oh, you competed in the games.
Yeah.
Please tell me about the games. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, the transplant games.
Correct.
This
So
is
that's why I'm
the-
saying we met in July because
Yeah.
I got the dates in my head. It's
Okay.
all aligned.
All right.
Yeah.
So you competed in the World Transplant Games.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been training for years. Shout out to Riman Akawi
Yeah.
because like honestly, outside of being incredible business partners, the best of friends because I came one day from my appointment just distraught. Like by 2018, my health was not great because I was just all focused on the business. My cholesterol went up, my blood pressure went up. Like,
Doesn't that affect your
of
kidneys?
course. So they were like, "Yo, what is going on? You
I
got
don't understand. You've had a double. You've had.
yo,
You're not.
This is the thing because of this question of racing time.
Yeah.
I was working nonstop all day, every day.
But for what?
Right? I have a business to run now.
I know, but your
Yeah.
health.
Yes, my health as well. And I thought I was taking care of it because I would look at my kidney results, like my creatinine level, That was a main metric for kidney performance.
Yeah.
And it's good. All right, bet we're good to go.
You just went in one number.
You know?
That's good. That's
But there are many other factors.
But how was your weight now? Did you drop?
So
weight?
I know I went up in weight by
Again?
then. Again, yeah, because of the second surgery.
Okay.
So 2016 was the second surgery. I went back up in weight again.
Okay.
And I managed it well. 2018, I was starting to lose it-ish. I had a gym membership, but I was like everybody else would go we'll go for 2 weeks and then quit for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't do anything with that membership at the time. So Akawi goes like, well, cool, we're gonna start running tomorrow. I'm like, nope, no, we're not. He's like, we're running and I'm gonna drag you. And Akawi being Akawi turns this into a campaign. Contacts his ex-colleagues at Nike. Nike jumps on board and sponsors. He creates Dukkan Gets Fit as a campaign for Ramadan. And it became this driving mission to get me to lose weight. Right? And he was committed. He's like, we're going to do this thing. And Reem joins in and it becomes this huge project.
He's really annoying. I told
Yeah.
when I saw him, I said to him, you are one of the most annoying people I know.
If you want to do something, he's relentless.
Yeah, but
he's
like,
relentless.
It's like his argument isn't he doesn't like scold you. It's like, so we're running and it's just like happy and positive and smiling and like, we're doing it. I can imagine.
And he knew I was going to flake. So him turning it into a campaign, now I'm accountable.
Yeah.
There are KPIs you got to meet.
Yeah. Hey, your job.
You know?
This is
exactly. So now I'm like, great, bro, thanks. So that gave birth to Dukkan Gets Fit, which became this like health thing we do every Ramadan. We were in, we invite people. We made deals with gyms and studios to like get people free access for a class or two throughout Ramadan.
Yeah.
And that became this thing that Akawi was championing.
Wow.
Yeah, so shout out to him for it because that changed everything for me. Like that began this process of, okay, I need to really take this seriously. And one of the things was that I was really worried about at the time is, are you familiar with a DEXA scan?
No.
A DEXA scan for your bones.
Okay, no, I don't know. No.
Is this machine that looks at your bone density. And my bone density has been receding as a side effect of my medication.
Okay.
So that was like a big red flag. So with the running and with the work, I started also researching solutions to navigate this thing. And that's when I learned that, okay, you got to strengthen the muscle around your bones to help improve your bones, but also, your hip bone is the first to go with age. So you got to strengthen all your core. And I'm like, great. That became the mission. So I'm like, I
do not want a hip replacement.
Exactly. And in my case, it could happen earlier. Like I wasn't waiting for 70. It could happen at 40. Like you didn't know, right?
Yeah.
So cool. I was like, maybe running's not for me. I started focusing on weight training and I got a coach and started to study nutrition and I started geeking out on it. And my family makes fun of me because I had a food scale, because I was measuring everything. And then I got
deep.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
And we bought extras. Like I had scales in Reem's house. I had scales in Akawi's house, and I was getting people on it. Like, no, we gotta measure our macros, like it became obsessed. Like,
are you still that
focused? I am still that focused, but now sometimes I'd eyeball it, but I'm also very forgiving with myself in a way I wasn't at the time. At the time, I was ridiculously strict.
Okay.
And it began this weird fun journey of becoming obsessed with weight training and like strengthening the muscle. Yeah. And I was like, cool. And then you have the vanity issues at first, but then you're like, oh damn, I could lift weight. And then I kind of get really into it. And I had great coaches. I mean, I started with Coach Jakob, and then later on and Ola. And G was a friend of ours, a basketball player. I don't know if you've met him.
No.
Jafar he's one of the basketball players in town.
Yeah.
And it started off with somebody speaking about him, saying that he's never seen somebody his size deadlift as much weight as G deadlifts. Okay. Right? It was just this shock statement. I'm like, cool, I need to talk to him because I watch his content all the time, and he's explosive. Like he's jumping boxes, he bounces on a ball. The dude, his lateral movement and his speed and agility work was mind blowing, right? Mashallah. Plus, he could take on that much weight. So like, G, I want you to start training me. I was like, I heard some things. I want to be able to do all this. So let's build a program together. Because I was getting bored in the gym by then. Yeah. And this was post-COVID.
Yeah.
G designs my program and I get obsessed. Now this is fun. It became, how high can I jump? I'm cutting my shins. I'm like jumping boxes. I'm trying to do the balance work. I'm standing on a gym ball.
So then what did you compete in the games?
So the games came about. I'm like, cool. And in 2019, I wanted to compete. And then I couldn't compete at the time. And then again, I looked at it because now I'm like, I've been doing all this. I'm excited. I'm like, oh, what can I do with my body?
Yeah.
You know? So it became this question of what can I compete in? And I didn't want to do the Hyroxas, the CrossFits, the thing that I have, because I realized my training program is completely different from what's out there. You know? So I was like, cool, it needed to be something explosive. So I reapply again in the mid 2020, like 2022.
Yeah.
And they're like, the UAE is not registered. You need to register the UAE to compete. I speak to the hospital, it goes nowhere. So I was like, kind of gave up hope. And then earlier this year, I get an email saying, the UAE is registered. Katie Larkin's the team manager. If you're still interested in competing, get in touch. I was like, great, I don't even know what I want to compete in. So I looked at all the different sports and I wanted to compete in something. I'm like, I really want to push this. I'm like, how far can this thing go? So the most athletic thing I could find was sprint.
Okay.
So I'm like, bet, sprint is where it's at.
100
I think
sprints.
I can sprint. So I went for 100, 200, and long jump because I was jumping boxes.
Yeah.
And because I wasn't training, I didn't do the long jumps, unfortunately. But now I feel like I might do it for the next one.
Yeah.
Let's see.
3-4 years as well?
Every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
So the World Transplant Games is an Olympic-style event
Yeah.
of sports that is you're either a donor, a recipient, or a family member of a transplant patient.
Oh, you can be family. Okay.
Correct. Different age categories, different variations of sports.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, let's do this. And the same way I trained with G and with Jakob before and with Coach Ola, I'm like, and Ola was a football coach as well. So I'm like, that's my guy. I was like, who's the right person for this thing?
Yeah.
So I started looking online again. I'm like, all right, who can I find? And I found Coach Tommy, who trains at the AIS Athletics. And he is a gold medalist. He is a pro athlete. This is his sport. This is his game.
So he got you the sprint.
I was like, hey, let's train. By then it was April.
Okay. You only have until July.
August.
Yeah.
He looked at me like, wait, you want to do this in 4 months? Like, yeah, we're doing this in 4 months. So
Training in August.
we start training in, the games were in August.
Yeah.
We start training in April.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm doing these 3 sports. So let's figure it out.
Okay.
And he is take no prisoners kind of coach. Like, he's like, dude, we got a lot of work to do. So you better be ready. I'm like, girl, let's go. In my mind,
It's just running.
it's just running.
Yeah.
But also in my mind, it was all the, it was the chasing chicken scenes playing in my head. It's
Yeah.
the Rocky up the stairs. You know what I mean? Like in my head, I imagined all this like greatness, glory type, montage.
Mind you, you did what? So like Usain Bolt trained for 4 years
Yeah.
to run less than 10 seconds.
Correct.
And you're doing it in less than 4 months.
Yeah. I'm like, cool.
Okay.
We're going to do this.
Yeah. Okay.
And we
Makes
needed
sense.
financial support,
Yeah.
obviously. So we needed to get sponsors. So I'm like, great, I know this thing. Because when I talked to Katie was like, I was just going to go. I'm like, cool, I got you. I know how to do this.
Okay.
I've done it before. I got sponsors before. I
Yeah.
hate it, but I could do it.
So you got the shoe sponsors.
So I started reaching out to brands.
Yeah.
I built the document. We started talking to people. Katie and I started like spreading like wildfire,
Yeah.
talking to different departments, and we started pulling sponsors together.
Sweet.
Managed to get, we had all our sports guys. We had ASICS, Runners AE,
Hmm.
Cleveland Clinic Hospital came on board as our main sponsor.
Wonderful.
We also had Mediclinic. Mediclinic was for movement, recovery,
Yeah.
specifically.
Good system.
Wonderful department. Like, honestly, I would have not made it if it wasn't for them, truly, because their physio team is amazing.
And my wife raves about the one in Parkview.
Yes,
Yeah.
Parkview is great. We were going to the guys at in DHA.
Okay.
Wonderful team.
Okay.
Shout out to Dr. Lawrence, like one of the wonderful, loveliest sports doctors I met.
All right.
So they were our partners, Runners, Shades, the guys, the team got KCAL. We started collecting sponsors to fund this project,
Okay.
right? And part of that was to convince the brands that, hey, give us some money. We're like, let's make a documentary.
Okay.
So-
you did.
Yeah, contacted, so we got Tribunos and Chop 'em Down Films, who have been our film crew the entire time. We've been documenting and filming this since April, May, we started filming. So we've
Amazing.
been filming this entire time.
Yeah.
So we have a documentary that we're currently in post-production and we're in the second stages that we've been working on.
Neat.
Ayham Sobeh is directing as well. So we were blessed with an amazing crew that were just like, as soon as I told them, hey, we got this crazy idea, they're like, yeah, let's do it. Spoke to Sticky Ginger and the girls were like, great. So they jumped on PR
Okay.
and communications support. So like, alhamdulillah, yani people came together behind this
Tell me
cause
about
in a way that was unreal.
I want to know about the
We
competition.
go to Dresden on the
Yes.
15th of August.
Yes.
And turns out sprints are the last 2 days of this thing.
Okay. How many days is the whole event?
I was running on the 22nd and the 23rd of August.
Okay.
We land on the 15th.
Okay.
And Tommy was like, You're not going to go out. You're not going to party. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. You're only going to train, recover, sleep,
Still training?
Epsom salt. Yeah, we were tapering, but we are still training,
Okay.
right? And food. That's it. We're not doing anything. And
Yeah.
boy, do I tell you the nerves. I mean, the butterflies, the nerves of it all. It was terrible. I was barely sleeping. We get to the preliminaries for the hundreds on the 22nd morning. And by then, shout out to the team. Hussein and Katie got bronzes in petanque. Fatima by then has gotten her gold in javelin.
Yeah.
And now we're getting into the hundreds.
No pressure then. You need to
Not
medal.
at all.
You need to medal.
You know? And because of the documentary, I figured brands want somebody to be this role. So I was talking so much smack at every interview, on TV, on radio. I'm like, I'm getting the gold. Like, it's done.
Oh, you were going to get gold.
I'm like, oh, I'm bringing gold. It is non-negotiable. It's said for, right?
And the voice in your head was saying?
I was convinced until I got there. Yeah. I was set until I get there.
Did you sprint before?
Professionally, no.
No, but like in school, did you sprint in
I
this?
played sports, yeah. Ran marathons and cross country. I mean, not even cross country and like a couple of track and field.
Sprints.
Yeah. But I was terrible. But
So
I wasn't as explosive as I am now. I wasn't as fast as I am now.
Okay.
So now there's a thought where I think I could pull this off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I love the confidence.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like I can do this thing. I feel like, and what I've done is I looked at the best times online, and I went to Tommy. I'm like, those are the champs.
What were the times?
So it was 11:05.
11:05.
Yeah.
For a child. 11:05.
Yeah, 11:05 in the 30 to 39 age category, which is my
that's
category.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm like, cool. I think I can do it.
You,
dude, no joke. I was like, I can pull this off.
What did Coach Tommy tell you?
He thought I'm crazy, and you know what's funny? Every time I said I'm gonna do it, he said nothing.
Okay.
He has never he pushed me in training, and he would compliment my work, but very rarely, if ever. And when he does, I know it's genuine because he rarely ever says it. Because every time I said I'm going for gold, he goes like, and just walks like nothing, just walks off. So you did it.
So you're there 22nd. You have to run.
Yeah.
100 meters. Okay.
Yeah.
How many heats is there?
So there are 2 heats.
All right.
In the morning, the day of. So I ran my heat. Terrible. I did 12. I did 12.5, 12.8.
But you placed and you got into the next
round. I placed second.
Okay.
So I made it to the final.
Okay.
And the entire week I was there, multiple people have hit me with, "Oh, you're 30, 39. Hey, good luck with Hungary, though." And they walk off. Yeah. Like I was training with
not Jamaica.
No,
America,
no.
Hungary.
So it turns out, dude from Hungary was like a pro athlete, pre-transplant, if I'm not mistaken. Like that's his thing. This is his sport, bro.
Okay.
Like he's a sprinter.
Okay.
Big guy, 6'2". You know, he's ready to go. I'm like, bruh, I got this. I'm ready, right? Yeah. So my heat wasn't great, but I made it.
Yeah. Did you watch his heat? Did you watch him run?
I refused to. I did it. I was just gonna come in. I was gonna do this thing, right?
Okay.
But I slept like between them because I had a few hours to like go back, sleep, eat, recover, and come back for the second race.
Okay.
For the finals. Show up to the finals, and I was number 6. Number 5 is South Africa. Hungary is number 4. And I've seen him. We've been warming up and training around each other.
Big
dude, big guy. Yeah, big guy. Big
sprinter power.
You could tell. Yeah, explosive, tall guy. You know, he got the quads for it. He got the legs for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We line up, and I was so focused I was in my lane. I was ready to go, and George from South Africa looks at me and was like, "Go, hey bro, take it easy on us." And I stopped. I'm like, "Wait, what? What do you mean?" To Hungary. He goes like, "Take it easy on us." I'm like, "Yo, why do we got to say that, man? Like, let's just run this race. Let's just run this race." And it's like 9-10 degrees Celsius. It's windy. It's freezing. We're in those like running tights. Like I was like, "Bro, I want to go home."
Running tights.
I just want to go home right now. Like they had us in blankets and hoodies. It was freezing.
Yeah.
And
in August.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dresden, Germany is cold.
Yeah. Okay.
Gun goes off, and in that moment, all I was saying, I was like, just like
focus.
Head down, run your race. Head down, run your race.
Right.
And before that, I spoke to. I had a call with Maria Khan. She is the captain of the Pakistani football team.
Okay.
She's a professional football player. She's Omar Tom's wife. I don't know if you know.
I know. Yeah.
So Maria.
Yeah.
I was talking to Maria, and Maria was telling me, run the occasion. Run the moment. Don't run the occasion.
Okay.
And the way she explained it, she's like, I've shot penalties 1,000 times in practice. And then when you show up to the game, sometimes all on your shoulders, some people flop.
Yeah.
So because you're trying to play the occasion instead of playing the moment. Don't play the occasion.
Okay.
Like this idea of quieting that down. She's like, just run the same thing you've ran 1,000 times on the track.
Yeah.
And so I was just playing this montage in my head. It's just monologue. Like, it's just trying to play this and run my race. Gun goes off. I run. I trip in like my third step. I was way lower than I should have been. That I lost my balance
Face
for a
plant?
second. Huh?
Face plant?
No. Nobody. Here's the thing. Now that I've said it, if you go back and watch the film, you'll see it, but nobody notices it.
Okay.
Right? No, because it was a quick trip. I realized I was low and I readjusted fast. But we've trained this.
Yeah.
And sprinting is complicated. There's so much. It's such a great sport. I loved everything about it, of how explosive it is, and I've hated everything about it at the same time.
Okay.
Because it's so mechanical, and I loved trying to learn and unlocking new skills. I became obsessed with this thing, and I realized like it's the challenges of unlocking something new is what I always get I become hyper obsessed about. And that was me with sprinting. So I managed to pivot and adjust and just ran this race. Run through the finish line. Spencer comes in my face with the camera. He's like, "Yo, how you feeling?" I'm like, "Spencer, shut up, get out of my face." And I'm watching the leaderboard, trying to see where I landed. I knew I lost. I like hoping maybe podium, but I knew I lost.
Yeah.
Because it was a terrible race. Because in 100 meter, there's zero margin of error. Like you can't. Any fumble, you're done. That's it. You're out.
Yeah. You don't recover
at all, right? And
it's not like it's like steeplechase or something like that.
And they had me ranked in 6th place.
Oh, okay.
Yo, the deflation, the sense of I'm done with all of this. Yeah. Like we're done. I want to go to the physio guys. My legs hurt. My pride hurts. I'm exhausted. I'm going to eat and go to bed.
This is the 100 meter.
The 100 meter.
You still have the 200 left.
I still had the 200 the next day, but like the 100 is what I've been practicing all this time. And to make matters worse, is just I'm like 6. It's just I was baffled by the placement. I was baffled by the timing because I'm like I ran faster than that my first day.
Yeah.
Like I was just really mad at it. And Zayed comes to me while I was getting my legs massaged. He comes with the video like, "Bro, you didn't land 6th, you landed 4th." And he shows the camera, and I landed 4th. I'm like, "Oh shit, let's contest it." And
contest it?
Yeah, and they're like, "But you're not gonna get podium." I'm like, No. But that's a record, my guy. I will contest it. Contest it. Katie comes in, our team manager.
What are you contesting? I'm
contesting my placement. I was 6th. In the video, it shows I was 4th.
Ah, okay.
So we're contesting the placement and contesting the time.
Yeah.
So they go talk to the judges, Katie and Zayed. They go show them the footage. They agree. They place me back at 4th. My time is still terrible, but it is what it is.
But you finished 4th.
But 4th, I'll take it. You know what? That's correct.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
That night, I slept. Like, my God, I slept like a baby. The next morning, my race was at 10:30. I knocked out, showed up to the track. Fatima, her race was before mine, and she just landed bronze in the 200s.
More pressure.
Right? So now, and here's the thing. Everybody's done. Last race, last sport, last thing, right?
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
But I was so emotionally done.
Yeah.
that.
But everyone's there rallying around you.
Yeah. And here's the thing. There's so much love there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My brother flew in. Fatima's husband and her son is there. Husseina's family's there. You know, we had the supporters from government that were there. Like, everybody's there. Yeah. Everyone's chanting. There's so much love in the air. I was not having it. Yeah. I had my headsets on. I was getting my warm-ups. I was getting my steps. I was just trying to get myself in the zone of, I just want to go home. I'm done. I just want to finish and leave. I was ready to pack my bag. My brother and I are flying to Amsterdam the next morning. I was like, I'm done. I'm out.
So why race?
You know, I was ready to get it over and done with. Let's just get it done.
Okay.
You know? And we line up. And this time, what was in my head was just like, let's just get this shit done over with. I was not having like,
no Hungary this time.
There was no hunger. It was just like, let's just finish it. Let's just get it over with because I want to leave. Like I became, I don't want to say emotionally detached, but I'm already disappointed. I'm already mad at myself. I'm already annoyed for being here now. Yeah. Let's just get this thing over with. And I ran that race and passed through all of us. Made first place in that.
You just nonchalantly just like, oh, I just hit.
I just ran the race and
That's
made
it.
first.
I ran the race and I finished first.
Yeah.
How was it?
It
Like,
was.
like, what did you
I
feel?
passed through. It was one of those things where I was like, just run this race. Like all that played in my head was like, let's just get this thing over with.
But
So
did you know you were winning?
no. I just ran. I knew I'm making podium because I can't see anybody in my tunnel vision.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And I was trying not to focus on because focusing anywhere else beyond this is a distraction. So I was just stay here. So I paid no mind to whatever was happening around me.
Just ran.
So at the very least, I knew I made podium.
First place.
Not till I passed the finish line, and I turned, I looked at the screen, it was still loading, and I looked behind me, and the guys were coming.
How far ahead?
That I realized the time difference. I was 3 seconds ahead.
3 seconds? That's like
Yeah.
30 meters.
Yeah. I was 3 seconds ahead of second place.
That's insane.
And it didn't hit me till like I saw them
How
come.
fast did you do that?
The 26. Yeah, which was not bad. All right. It's not not my best time, but I still won nonetheless.
Not the...
Exactly, right? So I was like, it's just
Gold
like
medal.
practice, just run it. We got the gold medal, and it took me a minute to register that it was. And the guys again with the camera, so how do you feel? I was like, I don't know. I feel like I redeemed myself. I don't know what you want from me, But like, I got it done.
Okay.
I proved my point. And there's always like, thank God, I'm like, I've been talking so much shit. Imagine if I didn't bring a gold medal home.
Gold medalist.
Yeah.
So
Alhamdulillah. It's in my car.
Is it?
Yeah.
You carry it with you all the time, or just the?
No. It just happened that it was with me because I had a talk and it was in my bag.
I'd love to
after the talk.
love
Yeah,
to see it.
we can do shot pictures after with it. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing, man.
That's
an amazing. Because I mean, like literally, you were on the brink of death a couple of times,
Yeah.
or 3 times, because you the lungs as well.
Yeah. So alhamdulillah, but and despite all that, like the type of people you meet at this thing, the athletes from around the world, like the girl who had the room next to mine in the hotel, young girl from South Africa who was both heart and kidney transplant recipient. It's the type of people I've met would blow your mind with what they've been through. Like you think you've got it bad until you meet other people and you hear their stories and you are so grateful for all the great things you have going on for you in your life, because what people go through to just be okay, let alone show up and compete at something like this, is insane, right? And you hear the stories, you hear the surgeries, and it's the most, because it's the first to be like, oh my God, so what's your surgery? What do you got? It's like this thing, where people
But it's not like a competitive thing, right?
It's familiarity. Yeah, it's like relatability.
Yeah.
Because there's an inherent understanding. Completely. There's an inherent understanding that everybody there has gone through something. There's been loss, there's been dealing with the medication, there's been the heartache, the emotional turmoil, the struggles of life that come with being a transplant patient. So there's a familiarity and there's a knowing and there's a connection there where it's like, oh my God, you're kidney, I'm kidney too. High five. Like, you know what I mean? There's depth that.
But you tell them I have 4, you only have.
Yeah. And these are the jokes. And like, we joke about like vices and different life things because you're also human, and the fuck ups that happen and the mistakes and the issues that happen in life. And we share stories, everybody's sharing war stories. We're sharing scar pictures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's this like, I think maybe it's like when maybe soldiers meet each other or something, where there's this knowing of an unsaid brotherhood that we've been through something together.
Yeah.
Right. And it's amazing. I think that was one of the most mind-blowing things, and it makes you so grateful for everything you have.
I can't wait to see the documentary.
Yeah.
When's it coming out?
So hopefully we're going to be coming out in January. Okay. Shout out to the boys at Mango Jam. I believe that you guys are supporting us with music composition. And,
amazing.
And some extra. They've been awesome. So we're working on the film right now. We've got a couple of artists now that I'm talking to, singers, rappers, to work on original music for the film as well. Mm. It's in post-production.
Do you need a voiceover artist?
We do. We might actually need voiceover guys. Trailer.
I can do voiceovers.
Done.
There you go. You see, I can do accents as well.
Husseina, we're doing this. Bet. There you go. Yeah, we need for the trailer. We need a voiceover artist.
Yeah. I would have loved to have directed it, but no one told me about it.
I'll let you know. And inshallah, we're going to be doing our screening with Cinema Akhil. So our screening partner.
Okay. Maybe we can get someone around there to do food catering.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
You know a guy?
I know a
guy. Manouche.
Huh? I was going to say Nightjar, but we can use Manouche.
That too. They got good coffee.
They have good coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, it's been amazing talking to you. Really has. Very, very impressed and inspired because I would have wanted to give up
Dude, no, I appreciate that. I mean, I think you're studying with the rest of the team. I mean, these guys, they all got their stories.
Yeah, I spoke to Justin and Husseina, and I'm going to speak to Fatima.
And it's mind-blowing. Like, Justin and Husseina are double lung.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Katie is a liver recipient who her liver came from Kuwait. It was the first Kuwait UAE organ crossover. Like
I remember the doctor went in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And you also have Hind, who donated her kidney to her mother.
Wow.
And Fatima, who is a kidney recipient as well. So, like, you know, we're such a tight-knit group of people now.
And you're going to compete again in 2 years, maybe?
So, yeah, now...
For that 100.
Homie from Hungary is a friend of me now. So, here's the thing. The guy who had the 11-5 record is from the UK.
Okay.
He didn't run because it turned out his wife had a baby at the time.
Okay.
And I was hoping to run with him. Like, I was looking for this guy at the event, and he wasn't there. And now, homie from Hungary, I was like, I don't like you, bro. So now it's this thing. Now it's personal because I turned 38. For Belgium 2027, I'll be 38.
Okay.
And after that, I'll age out of the category.
Yeah, good.
So it's the only time.
Elite in that category.
I'll be the oldest. So these guys are going
to be... the next category.
Yeah, I'll be the elite in the 40s for sure. Yeah. But now... I want to race these guys again, you know. So I want to
we have to retain your crown as well.
Exactly. South Africa, England, Hungary. I want to run against Japan. That guy, quiet guy, but explosive. Okay. So they were the top three. So it was Hungary took first, South Africa took second, Japan took third. But UK is coming back for Belgium. I'm assuming.
I feel bad for them because you're going to do first. So it's going to be between Hungary and UK.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Next gold. Yeah, we'll come back with other golds from Belgium.
Amazing, man. Thank you so much for being on the show. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we have to talk more.
Appreciate it.
Definitely. Thank you very much.